Okay, super duper. Okay, so I'll start with XRP. Uh, Now I have adjusted my chart, yeah, to show the channels like I was mentioned earlier on. Just to be a little clear about the levels, is I put these levels in, these level bands in, just so you're looking at, what's going on, yeah. I have all my other channel lines in it, but I fade them to the back because I believe we're playing with these two levels at the moment, and we're playing in this triangle. So, and then also this purple channel here seems to be playing out as well, yeah. So now what's happening? I'm gonna zoom out because I noticed something, and I think this is really important to show it. Is on the daily, you can see where the question is: are we going to go to a double bottom, or even a potential bigger spill, but a double bottom, or are we going to pop out and head up to the 55 EMA on the daily there to 50, maybe mid 50s? So here's what I think we should be looking for. And look at this candle here, pivot, rejection at the moment, and that's a daily rejection is pretty good. So now this is what the question is. The question is here, are we about to pop up to the mid 50s, or are we about to spill down for a double bottom? So I reckon we're about here. And what we're looking for over the next day or two, if you see a swivel, if this drop turns into a swivel candle today, possibly, or we get a deeper candle where we get a drop and a big retrace for an evening star, is a swivel and an evening star would indicate a double bottom, okay? Where if we see the drop here, and we get a swivel, and this turns around and pops up, if you start to see it go up, obviously we're going to go for the pump. So you can see both have a swivel, one with a little lift and then a drop, evening star, where one, here's the swivel, is a little drop, it lifts, and then it keeps going up. So we need to see our swivel. Could this be, again, our rejection candle, our swivel candle? Now this candle, what this candle decides to do today, I think possibly is our answer, is if this decides to get a drop, they're not exactly the same. If this gets a drop on an evening star, we have our answer for, I think, the double bottom. If this turns around and up it goes, or it's a more sideways candle, and then tomorrow again, will we get the drop and the evening star, or will we get the turn and the lift? So I think we're super close, and this here, maybe this would be the swivel, but you can see what we're looking for. You can see what we're looking for, and it'll show itself. It'll show itself very quickly. The evening star will come up and drop. Is the green candle will drop and then pump up, yeah. So that's what we're looking out for. Is on the MAs. Earlier on, I'd said the 4-hour had turned up. Look at the 20 EMA on the 55 broke it, and again I said, look, so this is either going to pop or it's going to have to turn. It's going to do one or the other. At the moment, it did a peak, and then it's dropping at the moment. But why? So now I'm going to show you the weekly. The weekly, we have the 5 coming down, and again it's coming straight down. It came up and got rejected. Now it came down and it's bouncing back up, and here we are at the VWAP is down as well. So this is the weekly. But now the daily, the daily at the moment, and I know I went through the multi-days earlier on, I'm just doing the daily because I want to show you the 12-hour, so I'm just relating a little bit. The daily, the 10 turned down when it turned today. The 20 is down, the 5 is up. The 5 is very close to being resistance, which again would help with the push down, and the VWAP is down. So this is indicating a down. This is clearly indicating a down, yeah? But now, what does the 12 o'clock? The 12 turned an hour ago, an hour and a half ago. And what did the 12 hour do? So the 12 hour, there's the 20 coming down. Here's the 10, again, pushing up, has been a solid support. But the 5 also wicked up. Now the 5 wicked up, and it looks now like the 5 is now resistance. Because you can see the rejection, and look, it's coming down as we're talking. So again, if this, on the turn of the day, is this 5 turns down, is again, we could be heading for a deeper push down, yeah? At the moment, you can see it pushing down. So that's looking solid for a push down. Now here is the medial line it's testing at the moment, yeah? For today, we also may be just going down and hitting the, there's an impulse here, and the correction is 38.90. That's the 7.8. No, 39.10 is the 7.86. So we're still due that correction from a couple of days ago. I'm still riding that horse on my Pico. Michael, you can't see my screen. I'm still riding that short. Can everybody else see my screen?
I see it now.
Very good. Okay. So yeah. So this may just come down and complete this correction from this impulse. 39.10. Come down and hit this support band, and again hit the white line here. It could just come down for the greater pump, a greater pump tomorrow, okay, possibly. So it's still up for play, yeah. So that's what the 12 hour is doing, and again the 4 hour, and you can see the 4 hour is starting to break the 50. So again, well, it's testing the 50. Let me correct myself. It's testing the 50. Pushing through the 50 a little bit more now. So definitely looks like the correction for this impulse. It looks like we're going to get our correction today. What does it mean after that? Now here it is on a smaller time frame. So I'm reading into this a bit more, and I'll go to the hour for now. So what I noticed was, here's this impulse, here's the drop, and it's done a couple of waves here. But this top wave this is the peak of the return back up. This wave has now come up to this top, okay, and now it's pushing down, and it's after breaking this lower high here. So it's pushing through this lower high at the moment. So it's possible we could be looking at, I could be wrong on my reading of this, but we could be looking at an impulse where we have an A, a 0, an A, a B, and then the C wave down to 39.10 or so, yeah, which would be a one, I'll tell you now. There, the 1618 would be at 39.04. So, or the correction of this wave here, and to the 786 at 39.10. And again, here's the support line here. So it all seems like it's heading that way. There could be a deeper push down as well, but I'm looking at that for the moment. On the 15 minute, the 15 minute has, just waiting for it now. The 20 has broken the 55 on the 15 minute. So you can see now there's a bit of a retrace, and this retrace is the 5 minute impulse, and I believe a bit of a retrace here, and then the 15 minute should push down a bit more and carry it on, yeah. There's a half hour break-in as well, and what I was going to say is the half hour could push it even more, yeah. There's the hour. So this is where we talked about potentially a deeper push down. There's the hour, there's the 2 hour, there's the 3 hour, but really the one I'm going to is the 4 hour. remember I mentioned this earlier on, this broke up earlier, touched, is now wicking back down. So if we get another red candle, 4-hour candle, is that this is going to clearly break through this. Is potentially that could be, it could be pushing for something deeper. Again, you can easily just wake up and touch here and wake up and it continues doing it sideways. Or it might just decide it's time to go and it just kicks off. Yeah. So we got to watch for that. And that would fit in. The last thing I'm going to say is that would fit in. Come back to the daily. Okay. Come back to the daily. Maybe I'll flick it to here. Yeah. There you go. Is coming down and getting that longer wick, coming down to 37.50. It might even push itself down to 36 very fast, come back up and create an evening star, and that would set the spill down for the greater double bottom. Yeah. Or is we get a reasonable drop, it comes down and it does its 38, 39 or so, comes back up and becomes a swivel. Tomorrow we get a slight little dip and then bounces and off it goes, breaking the 20 EMA. I think that's the play of it. That seems to be where we are. Yeah. So again, I'm still in my short, and I'm just, as I watch this, I've got to decide where I want to take profit. If it keeps going down, where do I take profit? And that's it. When I see it bottoming out here, I am going to jump in on a long. I may not be in it for very long. I may not be in it for very long. If I see it wick down and it starts to retrace strongly, I'm going to jump in and catch it up. And I'll come out because it'll be an evening star, but I'll catch it. If it's a swivel, again I'll still catch the long, let it swivel, and if it wants to then head up tomorrow, sure, I'm in a great position for the lift. If it plays out like that, but that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Okay, that's me. Let me switch you over to Mihaela. Mihaela, do you want to share your screen?
I am ready.
Okay. Go on and share your screen and I'll...
Yes, I'll start. Just a second. There, perfect. And I will start with Bitcoin.
Hang on, because you got to give me a moment when you do it to open you up.
Sure, sorry.
And just get you in position, get your screen in position. And so now I'm going to mute. Okay, off you go.
Okay. So I'm going to start with Bitcoin and the sideways that we've been in. So this morning we were looking at the two ranges, and we've come and retested the 29.9, almost 30K range. We still haven't broken a previous long leg of what I believe to be a W formation. It has now turned into a 1, 2, 3, even 4 bottom formation. So I'm looking again at the same level of invalidation in the short term for a possible retest of the 29.2 level and even the 28.700 level. So I am still in my long, and I believe that Bitcoin needs a belief rally, but that's more of a fundamental belief rather than a technical belief. If I see this invalidation line being broken, I am seriously considering closing my long, since it could follow a trajectory downwards for about 3.8%, even 40%. Another trade management solution would be to DCA around the 29,000 mark, but that depends on your level of risk. If you do DCA there, you'll be lifting your entry point up, but you would still need to go through the let's say the worries of recovery. Are we going to recover from the 28.7, or are we going to drop down to a bottom, a second bottom to make a double bottom formation at around 25K? So it depends on the level of risk that you're able to tolerate. Personally, I'm still in two minds whether to DCA or to close my lung. It depends on how it does that invalidation, how fast that's happening, and how those 15-minute candles are behaving. Because at the moment I have this test of the 29.9 level that happened with a wick, and so far this is also recovering the drop, and it's made a higher low, as we can see. So a possible 1-2 on the mini impulse up. So again, we are in sideways in the short term. I don't want to move this line, this divergence line, because I would love, technically I could move it here, but I would love to keep it here and have a better idea when we get above it of the momentum pushing upwards. So I'll keep it like this for my own monitoring of the trade that I'm in, just to gauge to see if it is going to be a rejection and it's going to push down, or if it is going to get above it and then attempt to cross the 30,400. So at the moment, my long is not yet invalidated, but I will be looking to see how it does that invalidation. Now, on the MA front, we have lost the support, the nice support that we had in the morning above the 200. The Bollinger is the one supporting us at the moment on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, again, there's nothing below us. The Bollinger would be there at 29.2. Again, a possible level of retest confirmed by our sideways channel, our support and resistance trend lines. Personally, I don't like the way the 4 hour candle structure looks. This is a rejection candle here, and it shows a rejection of the 20 MA on the 4 hour. So I'm very mindful of it coming down to 29,200. It won't be a huge drop, but this level is essential in terms of support and resistance, because if it does break this one, we're looking at deeper levels. So again, it being in a long right now is quite risky, because if you do DCA, you might be trapped in that long for a while until Bitcoin recovers and gets up to your entry point. That's the risk involved in DCAing. So your account or your capital is trapped. Be very mindful whether you're willing to take that risk or not. For Ethereum looks equally like going sideways. It looks a little bit clearer than XRP than Bitcoin, to be honest. Because it's done a retest of the, again, it's constantly in typical Ethereum fashion, it's going sideways. It retested again the invalidation line with a wick. Now it seems to be holding above it. I would love to see 2 1 hour candles above this bottom trend line to have the uptrend confirmed. I'm leaving the top line as is, because it's common to have first a lift and then a retest and then a continuation upward, considering we haven't yet broken this low or this low. So we haven't broken any of the previous lows. So we're still in higher low territory. If we are struggling to get above this or to stay above this, I will change my trend line to this. And again, get a picture of the space that it will be moving in. Both Ethereum and Bitcoin, generally the cryptocurrency market is set to trend sideways today because it's waiting for news tomorrow in terms of employment rates and interest rates and stuff like that. So fundamental news should be coming tomorrow, and people are expecting this to move sideways. It is going to get very compressed because it's already done a couple of swings in tight spaces. I would be surprised if it doesn't move today, at least 3-4% one way, and then we get another bigger move tomorrow. I would honestly be surprised if we don't get a move today. But again, that's more my intuition and again experience in terms of the how many swings you can have in a pattern, so that until the breakout. For the MAs for Ethereum, very little support on the 4-hour and the 20 threatening to cross the 50 downwards. It crossed it upwards, not too much happened. Now it's going to cross downwards. Let's see what's going to happen. I wish I could tell you it's going this way or that way, but until we are confirming some level support or resistance action, I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can see, for instance, from this big wick on the day, that there was a nice rejection of the prices, but then this was, if I'm to take, for instance, this as an up candle continuing the uptrend, this is a down candle and it starts the downtrend, continues the downtrend, continues the downtrend. We haven't yet had on the day a candle that closes with a higher low and a higher high. We haven't had that yet, and I don't think we've had that on the 12 hours either. And it's this one would be it. So if I'm to look at the candle structure, the first green candle here would be an up candle on the 12-hour time frame, and it starts. These ones are this is an inside candle, up candle, inside candle, inside candle. So technically, if I'm to read the candlesticks, we would be continuing, this uptrend, but I don't see a lift. I need to see a lift. I need to see some support. Maybe the 10 on the 12-hour, the 20 on the 12-hour, which would be the 10 on the day, and so on. And then I would be happy to see it move towards I would say the 50 on the day, the 50 on the day, 2200, but then the 20 on the day, 1850, which is a major level, and then breaking through the 1950 support and resistance. So a very similar story. It looks a little bit, again, same sideways, same two possibilities, with less support than this morning. So that there seems to be a push down. Maybe that push down is just to have a lift. So maybe we're just going to push down for the 1740 again, so that we lift up to 1950. Maybe that's what it takes. It takes one final push down to 1750 to Ethereum, for Ethereum, and maybe another push down to 29,200 for Bitcoin to get that nice lift. Let's see what's going to happen, and that would, as Roy was saying for XRP, that would correct this initial impulse wave on Bitcoin. And it would bring the correction at 29.17 to 786, from 702 to 786. Maybe that's what's needed. We'll see, and we'll keep an eye on it, depending on how it meets those levels. With gusto to push up from them, or with gusto to continue, trading decisions will need to be made. That's it from me. Thank you. That was a little bit long, but thank you for listening.
Yeah, super duper. Thanks, Mihaela. Okay, so final bit of movement after a couple of days sideways. Let's just keep our eyes on it and enjoy the rest of the day, guys. And we'll go into questions now. If anybody has any questions.
you.